Flawdzilla.
And I get down on my knees and thank God for giving me the day. Promise it won't be a waste, no. Ain't God sick of being fake? God is giving me a way. Consequence of being grateful.
Now, sure, I'm one with my boys, you know. I mean, people come to me and ask me all the time, Glenn, tell me about rap. And, the conversations we can have. But I am not somebody who is, I know this is going to come as a shock. I've never liked rap. Somebody walked into my office a week ago, a good friend of mine, he said, you have to hear this song. And he said, now, he knows me. Now, it is rap. And I said, get the hell out of my office. And he said, no, just listen. He put this on. And I said something, and it's not just the lyrics. I said something I thought I would never say. And I like this song. What happened to me? I don't know what happened to me. The guy happened to be in the hallway, and he said, yeah, it's this guy over here, Flawdzilla. And I'm like, oh, Flawd and I are like one. So he came into my office, and I invited him on the show. How are you?
I'm great, man. Thank you for having me, man.
It's great to have you here. What a great song.
Thank you.
What a great song.
Thank you.
You, not too long ago, were not singing about this kind of stuff.
Exact opposite.
Yeah, you were like way left.
Yeah, I was super left, yeah. I was like...
godless?
Yes, yeah, for the most part. Like, I knew, but like it was like turned against. I was completely against it, even though there was like calls and whispers that I felt like I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And eventually it ended up pulling me towards, but for a long time I was fighting it and depressed and like...
You were addicted to fentanyl.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you... I remember I got fentanyl, before fentanyl was cool. I got fentanyl in the hospital after an operation. I had it for 4 days. I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
I went into withdrawals from that after 4 days.
Super strong.
Oh my gosh,
it's like 100
awful.
times morphine.
Yeah.
It's like
awful.
Like the street version is even more. It's not regulated like what you would get from.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like super potent or just it's dangerous.
So how did you survive that, and how did you get off it?
So I barely survived. I'm not gonna lie. I was for years I was doing Percocets. Before that, we were doing Perc 30s, and it was like there was a lot of opioids just going around where I'm from in New Hampshire, and so got to that point, and then every once in a while in the street there would be no way to get them because it comes from a doctor. So then you have to turn to things like fentanyl. Huh?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. So then you got to turn to things like fentanyl, and it was like from that day my life just was horrible, terrible life, and eventually after 4 years of that, being homeless and having to find money and do all these schemes and lie to people to get all this money, I end up overdosing, and that day I made the decision I could either continue down this path, which would be rough,
death.
No matter what, I'm gonna end up dying is what's gonna happen, or I can go through like the phoenix from the ashes, and that's when God, I really just gave my life to God and I knew I didn't have control over things, and all I could do was just try and just have faith.
And so you were I'm trying to understand, because you came into my office and you were like, oh man, I can't believe I'm standing here with you. And I'm like, you know who I am?
Yeah.
I mean, again, I know I'm big in the rap world.
Yeah, that's how I heard you. Yeah. You're big, yeah. Everyone knows you.
Yeah, everybody knows me. But how did you go from that and a leftist to here? By the way, this may be the death of your career.
Yeah. I hope not. But I think it's going to be the opposite. Everyone I've spoken to is like, they're psyched. They're going crazy that I'm on here right now. But so my mother was super not political, but just automatically default liberal leftist, because that's what it is in black households.
Yeah.
So my whole life growing up, I kind of was virtue signaling a lot of people and swore I cared about all these different things that actually weren't really affecting me. I'm from New Hampshire. It's like 95% white. There's like no real struggle. Cops aren't doing anything to me. It's like I was like going through poverty, but it wasn't like I had to watch my back outside or nothing. So my whole life, entitlement, all that just made me believe that I was just like going through all these terrible things that I wasn't going through. And so I got on drugs and all this, and I met my girlfriend, and her family is on the right side. So that was the first time I ever saw you. Was I went into their house, and you were on TV, and like I was like, this guy is like, because you're so like animated and performing. I'm like, this dude is like, it was like entertaining just to see, and it was total opposite of anything I believed. But I didn't really believe the things that I thought I believed. Right. You know? So just listening, just actually having the conversations, things like that. If it wasn't for my girlfriend and her family, I would have never came out of it, because they were like, when Trump got in office and all this, I was like legitimately scared. I was like, yo, the world's about to end. Everything's about to be terrible. Right. And then my life just like, it got worse. But then once I started really seeing what it was, it just got better and better and better. And then I was like, first time I ever voted, I was like, I got to vote for Trump, because I've never felt anything like this, where I feel like I'm like, I have hope for the future.
So what is tell me about your process with your lyrics and what are you trying to do now?
So I'm not even a rapper. I'm a rapper. I rap first, but then I like retired, because when I got on drugs, I didn't care about music anymore. So for years, I stopped doing music, and then I started doing YouTube videos where I just talked about music, because that's all I know. And I would just critique music and be like, this is where I think they were coming from when they wrote this, and why they said this the way they said this. And it grew really quick. It grew like, I got like 117K subscribers in like 10 months. And I was like, it's crazy to me. Mm-hmm. So I eventually, just as I was doing this, I just like was in such a good place in my life, and I'm like, I should just try to start recording again. And I recorded a couple other songs, and Grateful happened because I reacted to an Eminem song, and I was talking, because it was called Rap God, and he was talking about all these God references, and I was like, he's just referencing a bunch of pagan gods, basically, is what I said. And someone's like, you think your God's not the pagan God? And I'm like, by definition, he's not. Like, but he's actually not by definition. Right. And that comment made me, like, it was just stuck in my head. And I usually make music on Mondays, and I just played a beat, and that was the first beat I played, and I was like, I came up with the first bar. I don't write, so I was sitting in front of the mic, like, trying to just come up with a rhyme, and I was like, and I get down on my knees and thank God for giving me the day. Promise it won't be a waste, no. And then, like, from there, I was like, people don't want to hear me rap about God, right? So I can make the reference, and I can, like, kind of go into my life, and I just got writer's block immediately. And I was like, but I could think of another bar about God, and I was like, I'm just going to lean into it fully. And it was the quickest song I ever made, best song I ever made. I truly believe that.
It's amazing how when the spirit moves you, and then you start to go, well, wait, I can calculate how it just falls apart on you.
Yeah. If you think you know better than God, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Yeah. I think it was like, it was a thing that was meant to happen, because I also didn't promote this song. Like, the people that I know, Garrett from Normal World, he really liked that song and shared it amongst a bunch of people. And then from there, people just like started sharing it, and it went crazy. And I had never even promoted the song.
It's fantastic. I was listening to it again on Spotify this morning.
Thank you.
I just think it is really good.
That's like big words. Saying if you don't like rap, and that's crazy to me.
I don't know. I mean, it's you're still musical. I don't know. And I don't like the lyrics of most rap songs.
Me either.
I'm sorry. I am definitely killing your career.
Only listen to this song.
I like it. You young kids nowadays. Oh, my gosh. Can you just tell me the Flawdzilla thing? What is that?
So it goes back to, my name was Marcus Black before that, because my name is Marcus and I'm black. Mm-hmm. So
okay, good.
I eventually,
that's clever.
Right? Isn't it? It was creative.
Yeah.
So I eventually was like, I need to change my name for content, because people are only going to know me for music, even though no one knew me. So just looking at my life and everything I had been through, I was like, I'm ready to basically accept exactly what I said, accept all the things I'm ashamed of in that song, and like wear it as, I can't change it. So it's me. So I have to either use my future, where I end up in the future, as like a proof that you can come from a flawed beginning to like ultimately, because you don't know anyone. Like if someone gets really famous and you're like, oh, I love this person, you have no idea what their life is.
Yeah.
But you could idolize this person and be like, they could be the worst person in the world. But I think that you can turn things around and actually influence people, because everybody has things that are flaws that they can't change, that they're ashamed of, that they're insecure about.
And I have to tell you, the whole thing about redemption is the most incredible thing is the thing that you are most ashamed of, that you have fought to hide for so long because it's just so bad, you think.
Yep.
Becomes like a weapon for good.
Yeah.
It's all of a sudden you're like, wait, this is doing what?
Yeah. It separates you from like the Sims, like the bots, where people are all trying to be the same thing because it's what works and what everyone likes.
Right.
The thing that really is going to set you apart is the thing that you don't want to show people.
I know, it's crazy.
Every time, yeah.
It's really crazy. Well, it's good to have you on the program.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Flawd TV is what you do. What is the YouTube channel? What is up? Go ahead.
YouTube.com/FlawdTV and Rumble.com/FlawdTV and Twitter.
Why were you even here? How did I
end up on here?
Yeah. How'd you end up in this building?
So Garrett, again, Kodak Black Garrett, he is a part of like another show that I'm on with Adam Krigler called Bay Staff Monday. And through that, me and Garrett linked up because we both live in Texas. So he wanted me, just randomly, he was like, after I made Grateful, he was like, come on a road trip to Vegas. Had never really even spent any time with him. We drove for 19 hours in a car to Vegas and like had conversations and bonded. And he was like, you want to be the first person on Normal World, the first guest on Normal World and perform? And I was like, I'd never done anything like that. Absolutely. And from there, like, that's how I ended up here.
And was that last? That was last?
No, that was like
for the opening.
Yeah, that was for the first episode.
Okay.
But now he's just had me back over and over. Yeah.
Well, it's great to have you.
Yeah,
great
I love
to
being
have you.
here, man.